Cloud mining with Genesis Mining, episode 5. Can you believe it's been a month? I know, stay calm, take it easy. Anyway, we're going to have the good, the bad, and the ugly in a really quick review and catch up where everything's at. So here we go. All right, having a little fun there with the crowd. So basically, we've been at Genesis for a month, and we've got some good, some bad, and some ugly. Now, the first thing I want to do is kind of settle a little bit of skepticism people have out there about Genesis and saying it's a ripoff and the numbers and this and that. And, you know, from what I'm seeing, the numbers are in line with what the calculators are telling us. It looks like they're a legitimate business. We've seen tons of videos. You can't just stage a place like that in 10 minutes. So, you know, I think it's legitimate. I think that a lot of people are just upset when they made some bad decisions. Having said that, we probably made some bad decisions when we got the Ethereum contract because the numbers aren't as good as we hoped for. But let's start off with a quick look at the market and see where it's at and see where we're going. So Bitcoin 4,081, it actually hit above 4,100 today, which was pretty good. Actually, it shows 4,200, so I wasn't paying attention at a certain point. And then Ethereum looks like it's finally coming back. It's been down for a while. If we look at the 1 week view, you can see the climb there. So it's coming back, which helps our, you know, profitability on the coin. And Litecoin's following suit, you know, pretty much. So nothing too shocking. I'm just glad it's going back up, which is a positive thing. So I'm going to log into the dashboard real quick. And as you can see, we've got our same whopping 2 mega hash of Ether. And we're going to jump right over to the payouts. All right, so looking at these numbers, we can see that they've got all the way up to the 28th. Which is earlier in the morning, and actually we're about 12:15 a.m., so you're talking about we're the 29th, so it's nice to see them caught up. They actually were behind a couple of days to the point that we were 2 full days behind, and it's a little frustrating that, you know, that type of thing happens. It gives you an uncomfortable feeling. And we'll talk more about that and some other issues that I've seen so far. So let's go grab the spreadsheet real quick. And let's update the spreadsheet with some current numbers, and then we'll go and review the good, the bad, and the ugly of the actual mining we're doing. So as you can see here, we've got the 27th empty and the 28th empty. So we'll just go grab those numbers. Here's 27. And the spreadsheet has been getting a bunch of modifications as we go along, tweaking it on a regular basis, trying to get better data out of it. All right, so we filled up a nice block here of 31 days. We're going to go over here and we're going to see what's happening. So according to our actual income, we earned a whopping $3.07. The forecasted amount was actually $302. So we did a little better than the 280 that was calculated. And I kind of changed my wording here. This is the calculated that we used mining calculators to figure out. And, you know, we've got our actual income here. And then we've got forecasted based on what we're getting paid in that month and what it thinks is going to be, you know, the right number. Because when you're on that 8th day, you have no idea, you know, where it's at. So having wrapped up this first month, while it looks like we may be about 8% ahead of where we were supposed to be, I believe here we were around $2 and I'm going to say 60 cents originally. Actually, it was a little higher than that. I think it might even been a little more. Let's go 270. I think that's probably right around where we're around 540. So we'd have to go back and look at the original video, but basically I think we were right around this 540 based on mining calculators the day that we looked at, hey, is it a good day to get Ethereum? And we even bought some Ethereum, and it was a little bit higher. It was peaked at that time, and as you know, the roller coaster ride went down. So at 105%, you can understand why we said, yeah, we got to go for it and let's try it out. And then, of course, at any time we could increase the money. Well, real quickly after that point, numbers started going down. And in the end, it just didn't work out to a wonderful number as far as on day 31. Now, I'll readjust this number. Now we can go back to what we were using just a moment ago. And this, there, whoops, that's a little too far back. All right, let's go back here. I had a feeling that it ended up reversing one erase. And since this spreadsheet updates, yeah, that's still there. Since this spreadsheet updates the time, or I should say every few minutes, it updates the price, then it creates other changes that when I'm sitting there hitting, undo, that it would make me click backwards 6 or 7 times. So anyway, looking at this based on the numbers that we picked with a 6% profit and sliding down here to see that in the 23rd month is when we finally break even, it's not something I would have pulled the trigger on if it would have happened today. That's not the fault of Genesis. That has nothing to do with them at all. That has to do with my timing of, buying the deal and, doing the math that day. And then, within a week, week and a half, the numbers going down. Now, in this past week, they've come back up a little bit, which is what made us, get closer. But, at the moment, it's not pretty, but that's just the way it is. That's investing in general. And we still have 23 months to make it up. We're hopefully collecting coin, and at some point, the coin goes up in value, and that's the positive side of it. Even if we break even throughout this whole ordeal, you got to hope that the coin goes up. Now, some people will say, just buy the coin, sit on it, and you're going to make the money. And truthfully, that can happen. But this is the fun part. The concept of mining and the idea of it is just fun, especially because you're a computer nerd, and that's the way it is. So, having said that, I think, looking at these numbers is pretty much sad enough. Let's take a quick look at the mining calculators and see if anything maybe has changed as far as the predictions going forward. We picked Ethereum here. We have 2 mega hash. And this is looking at 275. And let's go here. Let's type in ETH. There's Ethereum. We'll go 2 mega hash, calculate. And that's looking at 283. And this was the original one we used that was a little bit higher at Crypto Compare. And let's pick Ethereum, 2 mega hash, and it's got it at 253. So 253, 283, it's actually more conservative this time, and 275. So let's just take a number of 280. Let's go back to the spreadsheet, and let's update this monthly forecast to 280, and look at that. It actually has it back at that 560, but then we're behind this particular month. So we'll leave it saved at 280. We'll cross our fingers that these numbers, hold on going forward and see what happens with the Ethereum contract. Let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. Got Crypto Compare, got all these things here, and I don't think there was anything else I wanted to talk about, with exception of, the experience with Genesis. So we talked about how in the past people have been complaining, hey, is Genesis a scam? Are they this? Are they that? I think it's a legitimate company. I don't think you can stage a facility the way they have with all the equipment and all the people. I'm sure there's people out there that try to do it once in a while, but realistically, I think they've been around long enough. People have gotten payouts. I think the system is good. I think that just some people who don't understand how the money is made are probably disappointed, and therefore they point the finger at Genesis and say it's a scam. One of the things that I also notice is you got a lot of guys that go out there and they're advertising in order to try to get people to join under them and get referral fees, which is great. And my referral fee's down there at the bottom too. So if you're going to sign up for Genesis and you haven't, please, give it a click. We both get a little bit back. You get a discount and I get some percentage back as well. But the idea is they're only showing one side of the game. They go in and they go, look, I got $50. I'm making $50 a day. And it's like, okay, you're making $50 a day, but you invested several $1,000s in order to get that $50 every day for the course of 2 years. So the hype is there, and then somebody sees that video, doesn't do that research like we've been doing, and they're going to kind of be disappointed, and they're going to blame it on Genesis. It's a scam. And so that's the one thing that I want to be very clear about. I don't feel like I've gotten scammed. I've been disappointed in the fact that those numbers didn't come up on a regular basis, that there's not a little more information about the mining or what's going on with it. It's kind of just surface. And then the last part of it is their customer service is invisible. I mean, when I first signed up, I had a question, sent my email out, 0. That was 30 days ago. A couple days later, had a different question, filled out the form. I'm okay if it takes a few days, to get communications. 0. Then they send some marketing material. Oh, Bitcoin's coming back, and what have you. And I went to the site and there was no Bitcoin available. So I, responded to that marketing email. So you think marketing means sales. And guess what? 0. Now, I'm not going to use this as an excuse for them, but I do understand that there's probably a zillion people who are emailing them stupid questions about how the service works, the Bitcoin this, that they don't understand some of the details, and therefore they're hesitant to start using the service. So they reach out and hope that they could get a little bit of information before trying the service. And, I can appreciate that they're bombarded. But if you're that bombarded that you can't respond to your paying customers with an email within a week's window, then I think you need to hire several people, not one, not two, but several, to handle that and make the customers feel good about it. And then guess what? You'll also have guys on staff that can then answer those other sales questions, and maybe you'll get some more business out of it. So, having said that, again, I'm not disappointed in what I've gotten. I think the service is doing what it's supposed to do. And, bottom line is Ethereum wasn't doing well for me in that little window. Right now, it's kind of where it was when I first started mining Ethereum 30 days ago. So I'll keep my fingers crossed that it'll keep going up. No regrets, because this is like any investment. It's a gamble. So, I'll look at it as an education, and I paid for an education. And that's fine. And at the same time, it's fun because, we're nerds, we're computer guys, and, we enjoy these types of things. In the end, it's all about, learning more about crypto, getting involved with crypto, and, hopefully getting your hands on some crypto. So having said that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd like a thumbs up. That'd be really appreciated. If you want to find out about other videos as they're coming out, click that subscribe button and you'll get notified. Check out the other videos that we've made, both on desktop mining and on a mining rig that we're going to be building soon. We finally got some video cards ordered, and we're going to actually mine some Ethereum directly and kind of compare the pricing, or I shouldn't say the pricing, but the mining rewards of solo mining, pool mining, and of course compare that to Genesis mining and try to get an idea of, are we getting what we would have gotten if we had a rig from the beginning? So that's the deal. Again, thanks again for listening. I look forward to hearing from you guys down below, and we'll see you next time.